turn in, hits this one, goes to 27 for the recording. That gets us.
No,
so
that needs to go higher. You won't get any more.
No, here. This I'm just doing this at
but this
27.
needs to go up.
So that dB is 27. That's okay. What you're watching right now is us getting ready to sort of launch or blast off. You come into a different kind of learning room. Okay? Just watch as we get things sort of set up and troubleshoot and listen while I explain a little bit about what's going to happen today. And gradually, you're going to understand why you've chosen this course. And let's just see. I'll shut these. Oh, good, Maureen there. Okay. Make sure sound is clear. I'll leave one open for now. Essentially, we have an ambition here with this space that we've built at the college, with this $500,000 video wall, this global classroom, this $50 million center, the Center for Collaborative Education, particularly this room, to be the new classroom for humanity, to demonstrate to the world that there's a new kind of multimedia classroom happening here in Canada. And so you're going to be part of that this semester. You're going to be experiencing this work in progress that is going to be taking me and Maureen and possibly students to Japan next year for the World Expo. And that's where once upon a time Nikola Tesla demonstrated electricity for the world and his ideas on wireless electricity. And the Eiffel Tower was actually presented there back in the 1890s. So it's like the Olympics of new science and technology in the world. And we're already part of the Expo 2025. So we have a big ambition to create something new in this room. So you're going to feel, and I hope you do feel differently about class here. That's the point. And so I want to today take the time to officially begin the class, which I can do right now. It's 1:10, and I can start officially, more or less. And my name is Lon Appleby. I am your professor in Humanities Destiny, and you are in the Rotary Global Classroom at Durham College right now, in person. Thank you all for coming and reading the announcement that you are receiving a participation grade this semester for being in person and for coming here. But this class sprawls online as well. There are online students synchronously who are joining us, students who just watch the recordings. But for participation in person, I decided this semester that I would reward those students who come in person, because it isn't always easy for all of you to come here, travel here, and you may be used to, from the pandemic, having the option of being online, and you do in this class. However, in terms of our destiny on this planet, and I'm going to talk a lot about that today so you understand what this is, Humanities Destiny, what this course is. In terms of the human destiny on planet Earth, if we can't figure out how to put our technologies behind us and reacquaint ourselves with human interaction and remember that it is the human being speaking and interacting with other human beings that is the future of civilization. It's not machines. So there's a big reason for why I am really trying to encourage students to be here in person is to help them to always keep in mind that human destiny on planet Earth is about the humans, not about the machines, even though the humans created the machines. And some of you may not like that. Some of you may like being in the world of your machine on your device all the time. But I'm going to try and help you to get the balance right in this class, okay? So anyways, that's a little short introduction to me and this space. But essentially what I want to do today is show you what this class is about, give you a chance to meet each other and interact with each other and tell me what you're expecting from Humanities Destiny, and to understand a bit why you would choose this course over another gen ed elective. What do you want to achieve in this course beyond the great grade? Why are you really here? Why are you in school? What exactly do you want to know? I can help you with a lot of things and answer a lot of questions. So basically, let's just see how the tech is working, okay, right now, because this is our first class of the semester. And essentially what you will generally see when you come into this space is on the video wall here, you would see 3 streams of content. You would see our smart board up here, and notes are being taken, maybe by Maureen or others, and the smart board's connected over there, and that's getting hooked up. So you would see that here, and things being written. You might see a video going here that we're talking about, and then you would see the video conference live over there, as well as the YouTube live stream. So we're live on YouTube every week. If you don't like that or you feel uncomfortable about that, let me know. And maybe this isn't the class for you. There's lots of good gen ed electives, really good professors. And by the end of today's class, if you decide this is not for you, no problem. I fully understand. Okay. So I am trying to control how much I say, because I do like to talk about this stuff. And I do like to teach off my toes from my head and keep everything fresh. So I can do a lot of things, but let's take this step by step in terms of what you're going to gain today. And I want to make sure you understand this course and why you're here by the end of today's class, and have a chance to ask questions and meet each other. So let me just stop for a moment and make sure first if our tech is getting better, and it is. That's great, Elgin. I see one person online synchronously right now, and that is Chanel, who's even showing her face. That's brave, Chanel. You can hear. Now here's a bigger. Let's see what happens if you unmute your microphone and say hello. Will we hear you on the speakers? Could you go ahead and speak, Chanel?
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Okay, well, we'll get the audio. All right. So at least you see her. Chanel, for now, we can't hear you, but just go into the live chat, okay? You can hear us, and we'll interact with you that way. This is, we like to think, the world's most developed multimedia classroom. So we engage with all the tech, and we bring it all together, and we use it to enrich the experience. So if one thing doesn't work, we go to somewhere else. And if that doesn't work, we go somewhere else. But ultimately, we always come back to the in-person group. Okay. Hi, Chanel. How are you doing? Can you say hello?
Good.
Oh,
Hi.
Elgin, wizard. Okay. Thank you, Elgin. Thank you very much. Give Elgin a hand. He's running around doing everything. Okay. Good. He's got that working. So good. We've got things going, and we even have our notes up here that are starting there. Lovely, Maureen. Okay. And very soon, we might even park some of you over there to write there, because we're going to keep this very interactive too. Okay, so there's so much to talk about and explain about this class and what we're doing here. I would only say finally, and then I'm going to ask a little bit of you, and that is that I teach out of this space the human story on planet Earth, past, present, and future. So there's short history of the world. That's a Gen Ed elective. There's the global leader class. That's what's happening now. And then there's humanity's destiny. Where are we going? So essentially what I teach is those three basic philosophical questions. Who are we? Where do we come from? And where are we going? In my electives. So it's all about the human story here and what's happening to the human beings. Who are the human beings and where are we going? Because you may already get a sense of this, but you are alive and your life is going to unfold at one of the most extraordinary times in human civilization. And that's the moment when the world has become a planet. We can't go backwards now. We know for certain we're on a planet. We also know for certain that humans are changing the natural world. You're living in the age of biological control. This introduces some very difficult ethical, spiritual, religious questions. The human being is the most developed creature on planet Earth. I take the view of science, not religion, in terms of how we got here, okay? But we will get to religion and science and all of those things. But the point is we are doing something on planet Earth that no other animal has done on this planet. We are changing nature. And that's going to be your life. You're going to be doing things that are powerful, but also very complex. So we've never gone through this before on planet Earth. There's never been an animal on this planet that has begun to change the climate, change their bodies, change their genders, extend their lifespan the way they do, want all of these freedoms for themselves to explore what they think they want. Meanwhile, there are all these inequities in the world, and it's very global, and it's everything everywhere all at once, right? Did any of you watch that Academy Award-winning movie? Everything Everywhere All at Once. Did you? It won the Academy Award. It was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was a Korean-American movie. See, I see a student already nodding. Okay, you need to see that movie, although it's a little uneven, but did you like it? Could you please come over here? Can you come in here and tell, just a second, we have a little learning moment here. Could you come? Well, do you feel comfortable coming and telling them a bit about the movie? Why don't you come up? You see, you're going to see how this, very fast. This is I'm seizing this moment. This student has something to say. Please come up. And normally I would, oh, this is working. Sorry. Here we go. In order for Chanel and others online to hear, please speak into this like karaoke, but speak over it. Don't speak into it. Okay. And then Chanel, just give a thumb up if you can hear. What's your name?
Ira.
Ira. If you can hear it, great. Ira, go ahead and could you just inform the class about this movie, please?
It's a very fun movie. It kind of deals with the like the multiple dimensions, different universes kind of theme that we've been seeing in a lot of movies lately. I think it's really interesting. I do believe that there are other universes other than ours, but it just deals with how they can overlap so it's about a mother, they're Asian American. I don't want to spoil too much. Should I
Well,
spoil?
No, don't spoil, but at least help them to understand a little bit. And thank you for being brave enough to come up and start talking so early. Go ahead, okay,
Shaking.
Ida? Yeah, I'm just to shut the door.
But it's about this mother and her daughter. You know, we all have complex relationships with our parents, and it kind of deals with that as well. But it's about how the daughter from another universe can kind of control herself in other universes, and it also just like, so it's her doing that, and it's her trying to find her mother in another universe who actually loves her and accepts her. And she finds this universe that the mother and daughter are in, and they actually have a really really bad relationship. But you kind of see like a mother's like undying love, you know, like she'll always love you, it's unconditional. And so the daughter is gay, and you know, Asian American, I'm like Pakistani, I'm queer. It's always hard to navigate that.
Whoa, wait a minute. Humanity's destiny. What? who- 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, what, what is this? This is an amazing human being. But this is new. Oh no. Is anybody afraid here? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Perpetually afraid.
Yeah. Go ahead. Okay, so just this is humanity's destiny, which is creation. We are recreating, and this is not easy for people to deal with. This is complex, and a lot of people don't like this. They just, this is not the way it's supposed to be. Okay, but please continue.
So she finds the mother, and so she sees it, she's like, oh, it's another relationship with my mom that's not working. But you know, then she like, the more that you watch it, I don't want to spoil it too much for you guys, so I'm trying to like choose my words. But it's, honestly, I would say watch it. It's very like, there's a lot of themes. I had to watch it a few times to understand it fully. It's a very nuanced movie. There's a lot of symbolism. There's so many things like you can, like, you know, every time I watch it, there's something new.
Yep.
And there's also other relationships happening in that movie as well. There's a relationship between the husband and the wife. Um, and how they navigate that, and it's very interesting, you know, like they're about to get a divorce, but because she can't show people, she can't like, her love language is basically fighting with people, which my mom, guys, that's my mom. Like, she'll be like, you look fat today, and I'll be like, great, you love me. But it's like her way of showing love, like people didn't realize that that's how she shows love. And I understand that's obviously like, if you don't want to hear that from someone every day. So the husband's like, I'm going to leave you, and the mom, she kind of has to learn how to love other people, how to love her daughter, how to tell people that she loves them, because she's been so disconnected from her family, because she has the stressors of life. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
No, she's her laundromat. She owns a laundromat.
That's right.
She's in
Making a
debt.
living
She's
and
in
taking
debt. She's about to get audited.
complex world today, things pulling at all of us. It's stressful. It's
Who
driving us
doesn't hate their
crazy.
taxes? I'm sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Off, but who doesn't hate doing taxes? I hate it. It's the bane of my existence, but everybody has to do it. But yeah, it's a lot. So I would say watch it. I would say watch it.
The-
It's sad and happy. There's a happy ending. In the end, the mom and the daughter, they do end up reconciling and
Oh,
kind of building a healthy relationship. I mean,
Okay,
as
well.
healthy as it can be. I mean, there's always
But
but it ends on a good note. So I would say watch it.
okay. Well, now, wait a minute. We just had a bit of a learning moment here. So let's start. We've gone off track a little bit. This is great because it's very much how the class is going to work. There's some things you said that are important for us to remember. It should go into the notes. There are no PowerPoints in this class. Okay, that's prepackaged, old, boring. Although there are good PowerPoints, but nonetheless, it's so predictable and it's deadly and it's killing classrooms everywhere. Could you please go and write in the notes over there? Maureen will show you what you think was critical for us from what you just said to remember. Those are the notes. A PDF will be made of that. It will be posted for you later. But just give her a few little things and you write it yourself, or she will help you to write it, okay? And then we're going to continue, okay? And please spell your name correctly there too, all right? Because we could call that Ira's notes, okay? But all of you are going to have a chance to do that. Now, thank you. You're starting, I hope, to get a sense of a little bit of how this class is going to work. Okay, this is part of what we're going to be doing all semester, which is we interact. I give you the content off my feet, organically, based on what's coming out of you. I teach you what I feel you need to know, not by giving you bullet points, but by actually speaking to you and listening to you and having a discussion, but a guided discussion that has notes, fresh notes, out of the oven, not stale stuff or processed stuff that you pull out of a distant corner of the fridge or on the cupboard, old. This is fresh knowledge out of somebody's head, guided by a professor in the moment. So that's immediate, important. Is that making sense? Okay, so what gets put into these notes is important. What gets put into the live chat as notes from the online students, let's say Chanel has something to say, she can jump on her microphone and say it if she wants, or she can put it into the live chat. That live chat gets saved and posted on DC Connect. And that too is a source of information for you to use for the reflections you'll be writing. There are no quizzes, no exams, no tests, but a lot of reflecting, writing, thinking about what happened here. Okay? So, does anyone have any? Come on in. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say at this point? Was there something you wanted to say? Yeah, okay. Good. And we're even getting our think tank going, which is that student over there is going to his machine, his device, and he's giving that student who's writing something information, and they're interacting, and they're actually thinking together. This is, to me, as a professor, this is good. I want to be in this classroom to teach this way, not, okay, next slide, and everybody's eyes are glazing over. All right, so let's keep going and understanding more about what this class is this semester. Unless you have any questions right now, I'm going to continue, and I want to make it very clear that this class will always be about you, not about me. So I'm trying to help you to think more deeply, and I will always be pushing you and kind of asking you and bringing you into the class as best I can. So you may find it's going to be difficult for you to disappear into your phones or your laptops in this class if you get bored, and you might get bored. That's possible. If you get bored, in spite of everything that I'm doing to try to make this interesting, and in spite of all the interesting things that are happening in the people you're meeting, try something different. Instead of defaulting to your device to make you unbored, and the truth is, and here's the irony, if you go to Instagram and you go to email, or if you go to whatever website or whatever social media you want to make yourself unbored, watch what will happen to you after all of your scrolling. You're going to be even more bored and more stressed, because that's a synthetic world. It's not a real world. This is the real world. So if you get bored and you want your machine, why don't you try something different? Be mindful and think, geez, I'm a human right now, and I'm a bored human, and I'm going to reach for my machine to make myself really stimulated and connected. Maybe I should try just being bored and listen to what my mind is saying and just think. That's okay. We live at a time of biological control, and also where our machines are becoming more powerful than we are. Well, they long ago did. Do you want to live in a world where our machines are so powerful that we become slaves to them? Do you really want that? Anyways, I'm going to help you with all sorts of things through the semester in understanding what our future is, maybe on this planet. So you must have something you would be wanting to know about this course. We've already had a brave student come up here and begin to tell us something not only about a movie that is worth watching, but we just got a living, breathing example of the new human. Oh, but what happens to the old human? How do we make room for them? Well, we can make room for everybody. Isn't that what we're supposed to be living in? So, any questions? Anything you really want to know? Like, how are you going to be graded in this? What are we doing here? It looks like you're concentrating on what's happening here in this class. And I don't see anybody yet disappearing into the device. Maybe it's okay because she's working and she's not officially a part of the class. It's okay. But even if you did go into your device right now and disappear from this world into the other world, everything, everywhere, all at once, we have that other world, we have other worlds, we have this world. It's like so many worlds. Which one are we in? We want to be here, present in this moment. And you are right now. Is this making sense? Or do I seem like some odd talking head here? Does it make sense? Yeah? Geez, you must be smarter than I thought. Good question. Okay, so Chanel, you're the only online student as well. Synchronously, you can hear this too. How are you going to be graded? Well, why don't we make a few notes, okay? Can you put this up and you can see how this is going to work? We're going to create a new slide. We'll call it assessment this semester. See, we're creating our own PowerPoint. Right now, here we go. Well, there's a thing called 100%. 100% is you want 100% in this course, okay? That's you want to get perfect and everything. But we have to break this down into certain things that are worth 20%, 30%, or whatever. So here we go. 20% of your overall grade is participation. Coming to the in-person class, coming to the online synchronous class as well. You're in the class. Chanel is in the class. However, if Chanel was in the class and all it is just her icon, and every time I call on her, she's not there, I would make a mental note and go, I think that the mark today out of 3, the 1.5% for today's class for participation, I'm going to give her 0 out of 3. She wasn't really here. In fact, I'm not even sure she was here at all. It could have just been a picture of her. So I'm kind of assessing your participation through this. For all the students just watching the recordings, I'm working on how I'm going to mark them for no participation. It's a work in progress, but they're not going to be punished in any way for not coming to class. I just want to make sure that the students who are here get rewarded properly. So 20% is for participation. Now here's how it breaks down for the marking. You have 4 reflections. Reflection 1 is worth 15%. Reflection 2 is worth 15%. Reflection 3 is worth 20%, and reflection 4 is worth 30%. Let's see if that comes out in the wash in terms of the math. Does it? Good. See, you're already doing the math and it hasn't been written. You can do things quick. Yeah. Huh. What program are you in? The electromagnetic force. Is there anything more powerful? Is there anything more powerful than electromagnetism in the world? Maybe gravity? Black holes? Yeah. Gravity? Speed of light? That can be beat. Yeah. What's going to beat the speed of light? 250,000 kilometers per second? Can go around the circumference of the Earth 7 times in 1 second, a photon of light? What's going to beat that? Whew. Here we go. It's going to beat, what's going to beat the speed of light? We don't know, but. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Here we go. We're going out there. We're venturing into the big cosmos, opening our minds to everything, everywhere, all at once.
I've only looked into this lightly, so I'm not an expert on it. Just to clarify, but I have watched a couple videos where there are things that are faster than it, which time and such, and because we could look back in time to see, like we have a picture of the Big Bang. That's light because we can go fast. It's light is it takes 8 seconds for light from the sun to get to Earth. So if we look far enough into the blackness, we can still see the light from the Big Bang, just like trillions of kilometers away. But we can take a picture of that, and we have it. It's basically just this blue line, but we have it. Like it's not that fast. It is fast, but it's not that fast. So we can break it somehow. I'm not entirely sure on what.
Oh,
So
Very good. Very good that you're already interacting and you're already challenging each other and you're already talking about the big stuff. That's great. That's what we do in this class, but I'm going to guide you through this. And I just want to commend you for already talking about such important stuff. What's your name? Colin. Okay. Colin has sort of answered his question by saying he doesn't think there is anything faster than the speed of light. We will see. Well, I can correct it all by just saying that as far as we know in science today, the best physicists, Stephen Hawking would tell you, you go back to Albert Einstein, or you can go back to any great physicist who looks at the structures happening in the cosmos, and they will tell you the fastest thing in the universe that we know of, and we have not found anything faster, is a photon of light traveling. But wouldn't it be wonderful if we could update Albert Einstein's dream? He used to sit back and think about, at 16 years old, how I could travel, sit on a photon of light moving at 250,000 kilometers. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Maybe you will be alive, or your children will be alive when we discover something faster, but it doesn't look like it yet. Light is definitely the fastest. Most powerful.
Something fast, we doesn't know exactly what that is.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. What's your name? Gigi. And Gigi and Colin. Okay. I think we've got a good sort of back and forth here. Thank you for that. Okay. There is so much that we can explore together this semester in terms of science and technology and engineering and what we know and what we don't know. But I want to come back to making sure you understand this very good question. How are you going to be assessed? I want to make sure you understand about the reflections and about everything here. So there we go. Yeah. You just joined. You're not allowed. Of course, everybody's welcome here. Come in. We've already taken off, but you're hanging on to the spacecraft right now as it's moving into gravity-free cosmos, and you're climbing into the spacecraft, and you're going to carry on with us as we start to move into the outer reaches of the solar system, or maybe into the next solar system. Who knows? It's all about a journey and an exploration in this class. This is all about the future. The future has not happened yet. So we have to think about in this class? What might happen? What could happen? What do we think the trends are that are telling us what should happen this century, beyond into this third millennium that we've entered, the 2000s? So Colin was very good. He did the math and he said, yes, we have it there. That's 100%. So what are these reflections? You may be wondering. What are the reflections? Well, the ones that are worth 15%, the first two, are about 500 words that you will be writing, and you will be reflecting on what has happened in this class. The next one, worth 20%, happening in the second half of the semester, reflection 3, is about 750 words. That's when your reflections are going to start including some research. So the first two reflections are just you writing in what we call the first person singular, I. You know, this is what I'm thinking and what I think is important in the classes. And it's like a journal. You're just reflecting on the ideas very personally, why they matter to you. But then in the third and fourth ones, and particularly the fourth, which is your biggest assignment, that's when you're going to bring together your reflection voice and research and supporting examples and a works cited page, and I'm going to check your sources, and that's when you're going to be writing a really good essay in that final fourth one, where you're going to take on a big question, a big problem, something you're really interested in, and you're going to explain why it matters to the whole world to know about this. And that's going to involve research. So there's all this thinking in this class, all this reflecting. And each week, in terms of the participation grade, how that will break down is essentially there will be each class about 1.5% or 2% for being here. And at the end of every class, I'm going to ask you to email me something about the class. And that I will then be able to check, oh, that student was here. Now I can mark. Attended, good what they said, 3 out of 3. They got that 2% or 1.5%. Is that making sense? So that's how that's going to work, okay? But it really comes back to this idea that the human mind is the most developed organism or instrument that has ever been evolved on planet Earth. There is no other animal, no other creature, nothing that has happened on planet Earth that can compete with the human mind. And science tells us it has evolved through millennia and millennia of failure and, trying. Nature has been trying. Many species have come and gone and died. And here we are, we humans, in 10,000 years, when we were just a few million living around rivers, we've created this thing called technological global civilization with 8 billion people on the planet, and we're already going into space, and we've got this person to deal with who wants more power than anybody in the world, and his name is Elon Musk. And he is probably the greatest representation of what we need to be concerned about in terms of our futures, for better or for worse. Technical genius, but a pretty scary human being right now, if you look at where he's drifting to in terms of his beliefs. Not good, but we'll get into that later. He loves attention. He's addicted to attention. And that's a big problem with our culture, as I see it. But anyways. So the human mind is an incredible thing. And you can't use your mind if you're just answering quiz questions, multiple choice and all these things. You have to be thinking. And if you're thinking deeply about things, you're going to be ready for the future. So that's what the reflections are there for you to do, is to think deeply about what we cover in the class, okay? So that's how you will be assessed. How you write, how you organize your thoughts, how you integrate the course material, the ideas that we cover in the class week to week. There's a topic every week, a new topic we'll be exploring. Next week, we're going to look at, the how to think about the future in realistic ways. The next week is history's lessons. The next week is the next big thing. The next week is the force of freedom or liberty. And gradually we move into space exploration. And then we come back to eventually neuroscience, the human mind. What are we learning about the human mind? Because everything that's going to happen on this planet is going to come from the human mind. The poor old Egyptians, they learned a valuable lesson. The center of the human is not the heart, it's the mind. We know that now. So that's really what I want you to work on in your reflections. Clear? Is it good? Okay. What else? Before I maybe come around and get you started on an activity I'm going to get you to do together in a moment, but I can sort of kickstart it for you. First, I just want to make sure you're okay with the fact that we will not have a long break. In fact, I would prefer that we don't have a break at all in the class and we end 15 minutes early every class. Is that okay? So we start at 1:10, we end at 2:45. You're gone. Okay? Good. Good. You're okay, because we get a momentum going. There's momentum. If I say, let's break now, and you go out and vape or smoke or go to the washroom or whatever, it's like it's the gas goes out of the class. And then I got to start the car again, and I'm hitting the tires, and I'm cranking up, trying to get it started, and everybody is kind of half there and half not. But now I think we're building. We're building to the conclusion of the class, which is always going to be some great stuff that's put in those notes, some really important knowledge that you need to know. Today, we are not covering a particular topic per se. We're just covering the course in broader sort of overview, sitting back on the riverbank and looking at the river going by and trying to understand what's going to be happening in the course. The big view, the forest, not the trees. Okay, so any questions you have, anything you want to know about what to expect in the class is all there for you to talk about. Chanel, is there anything that you would like to bring to our attention? Are you good? Thumb up. Fine for me. You can hear us. Okay, and I'm going to kickstart an activity that we're going to start in about 10 minutes, where you're all going to get up and meet each other. But let's first do this. It's really important for me to understand what your expectations are from me in this class. What do you want to achieve in this class in Humanities Destiny? Why did you sign up for it? You're going to have a chance to talk to each other about this, and then we're going to take up your ideas together and put them in the notes. And then I will have a good record in those notes of what you're expecting this class to deliver on. But let's start this by me asking some of you what you're expecting. And to be fair, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start over on this side. And I'm going to put some pressure on now. So the stress is starting. Okay, so if you feel your heart starting to beat, when you hear that word stress, good. Stress is a good thing if you know how to manage it. Listen to Chris Hadfield or any astronaut talk about stress management, and you will start to understand how important it is to learn how to take advantage of your stress, your good energy, and not run away and retreat into your online world when you can't handle things. That's what we do now when we're bored or whatever. We just disappear online. So that's a long way of me saying, hello. How are you? What's your name?
My name is Abhijit Singh.
What's that?
Abhijit Singh.
Okay, this is good. Could we start another watch? Here we go with the slides. But maybe just to kind of boost the pressure a little bit, we're going to pick our note taker now, because Maureen's got a lot of other things to deal with. I believe that the ability to write well and just write letters is an incredibly powerful thing. In fact, we know it's one of the most powerful things humans have ever invented, writing. unless you have a problem with writing, right now, I'm going to ask Colin, because I think, no. Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to push it. Huh? Okay, watch the language, but you know, isn't it interesting? Because we have a lot of brilliant people in the world who are dyslexic. Oh, so now I know I'm dealing with a good mind here. I got to watch it. Okay, very good. Do you know that we've learned so much about so-called disabilities, and what we end up learning is there's that awesome superpower under there. Just watch the Paralympics right now and tell me how awesome it is when you see people and what they do. So I'm going to say Colin's got a really strong mind going in there, and I'm going to be watching that and using that and drawing from that. And so I totally respect that if you're dyslexic, you can't write properly. Good. No, let's move on. Thank you. Okay. Would you be able to go write something? Yeah? What's your name? Kayla. Thanks, Kayla. Okay. So Maureen will help you do a slide, and it's Kayla, and it's going to be our expectations. This is a new slide. Our expectations. First, we've got to get the correct spelling of this student's name, because in humanity's destiny, it's a global world. It's an entangled world. Everybody's traveling. Everybody's from everywhere. It's everything everywhere all at once. So I'm thinking that this human being is from somewhere else on the planet, not here. Am I correct? Are you from here? You were born here? No, exactly. When did you come here? How many years ago? Aha. So, English is not your first language. Brave now. Is it okay if I ask you more things in English? Should you feel uncomfortable? Great. You must be from another country, correct? You must be from a place called India, correct? And, well, we won't get into India, but here we go. It's the whole world here. It's complicated. The human destiny is complicated because we're in a global world now, and it's everybody everywhere all at once. Okay, fair enough. How do you spell your name? Could you give that to Kayla, please? Just spell your name? Yeah. Abhijit, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, how did you know? She knew. Oh, because where is Maureen from? Maureen, originally? Parents are Indian? But guess where she lived and was brought up? What country? United Arab Emirates. But then now she's over here. Everything, everywhere. Oh, here, there, everywhere. Pakistan, LGBTQ, mothers. I mean, it's just an amazingly complicated, liberating, scary world. Thank you, then, Abhijit. So, Abhijit, what would you like this course to do for you? What would you like to achieve in this course?
Communication. I want to better my communication skill with other people.
Better communication skills. Why are you not taking a communication class? You've come to a class about the human future on planet Earth.
I can know better about human.
Makes sense. Do you know that humans are very good communicators? Yeah. It's been said many times that if you put 70,000 chimpanzees into a stadium, chimpanzees are our ancestors. We share something like 98% of our DNA with them. In other words, inside of you are all these cells, billions of cells. And in every cell, whether it's a brain cell, blood cell, skin cell, there's a nucleus. And in that, there's a thing called deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, the double helix. And on that are all your genes. 25,000 genes or so per person. Every single cell, all billions of your cells in your body have these 25, 26,000 genes that make you who you are. The chimpanzee has about 98% of the genes that we have, but just the small difference makes us human and chimps. But you put the chimps in a stadium, they can't communicate so well. It's chaos. You put humans into the stadium, if it's a good soccer game and it's a good women's soccer match, everybody's watching and people are talking and it's pretty calm. And nobody's really killing each other yet. So we are good communicators. And that's something else about the human future. I'm going to help you to understand forces in our story that have been there in our story for a long time and that will be there in the future. The ability to communicate, the ability to write, tool making, building machines, being able to imagine something and then executing our plan according to our imagination. These are all incredible human things, and we're going to have these things long into the future. So Abhijit's correct in a way by coming here to improve his communication, because a human being who is succeeding is often a good communicator. Not always, but communication is important. Okay, let's try this one more time, and then I'm going to put you guys into your group here, and we'll keep going. Thank you, Abhijit. Can you pass it to Gigi? And we've got a nice no rock, no, what's written there on your arm? Your other arm?
Oh, no risk, no reward.
No risk, no reward. Good. So we've got someone with courage here. Wasn't that long ago that if a woman wrote something like that on her bare arm, we'd lock her up. Well, we're in a new world, and maybe the most powerful force that has happened in the human story in the last 200 to 300 years that is irreversible is that the woman, the female, now has the power and recognition that she should have had long ago when men started to create societies and women were working hard, but not with the men. Now we've corrected that and we're going forwards. And we may see in November something remarkable happen in the great, messed up, but still amazing democratic superpower south of us in the United States. On November the 6th, they may elect their first female president in the history of the United States. It's moving in that direction.
You don't think Trump's going to win?
My view, I'm going to answer it this way.
What did you say, Colin?
There is a wonderful Canadian commentator. His name is Malcolm Gladwell. Have any of you ever heard of him, Malcolm Gladwell? Do you want to just write down, note from Lon here? Sort of relevant. Malcolm Gladwell has written a book called The Tipping Point. He has written many articles for the New Yorker magazine on popular culture. He wrote a book called Outliers. Malcolm Gladwell, Gladwell. He's a Canadian who went to the US and has become a successful writer, popular culture. Malcolm Gladwell, he said something remarkable. When Joe Biden, the American president, was running to become the candidate against Donald Trump, and he eventually defeated Trump in the election, and that, of course, led to all sorts of problems. Malcolm Gladwell predicted something. It's really amazing. Kamala Harris at that time was running as well for the leader of the Democratic Party. She eventually withdrew, became vice president. Malcolm Gladwell said, I think what's going to happen is Kamala Harris will become president and Donald Trump will go to jail. No. Joe Biden is still president until November. The election is coming. She's running now. There will be an election in November, and she is running against Donald Trump for that. Joe Biden has withdrawn from the race to be reelected because he's too old. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Absolutely. So I'm going to just say I'm putting my money right now with Malcolm Gladwell. Harris will win, and Trump is going to jail. I'm just going to say that. I may be wrong. But the truth is, Trump has already been in a courtroom, and it's easy to bash Donald Trump. It's not so easy to understand the complex forces that support him and people like him. That we do have to understand in this class. There is a great fear, and we will talk about this later, that we are on the brink of a new dark age in the world, what's called a period of cultural collapse. If you want to know more about this, and we will talk, Jane Jacobs is another person we will talk about. Jane Jacobs, she wrote a book once called The Death and Life of American Cities. But I don't want to depress you right now. But we're going to talk about some big stuff, because some people are predicting that what's happening in the world now is democracies are being eroded, strong men, authoritarian men, and corrupt men, and war is coming back. War. And that the cultural conflicts, the religious conflicts that have been in human society for so long are getting worse again. But this time, we have weapons of mass destruction. We have algorithms. So we're going to have to get to that. We'll talk about dark things too. But some have said we are on the brink of a new dark age, a period of cultural collapse. Jane Jacobs is one. I would say if Donald Trump won and the forces that put him there win, we're going in a bad direction. But that's my view, okay? So let's stand up a little bit. Kayla, do you want to come back and you can take part in this activity? We'll leave the notes there. No matter what we talk about in this class, as dark as it may get sometimes, and we'll get dark when we talk about sustainability and climate change and consumption and what we humans are doing to the natural world and all of these things and all the animals that are dying and that are endangered, it could seem depressing. But I take the view that if you can talk about anything well, it's never depressing. I would rather talk about hard things, anything, and face it and deal with it, then we're getting a handle on it. The worst thing is to avoid it. Then it gets really difficult. So we can talk about anything. We will deal with any information here as long as it's good information, that it is trusted information, it comes from good sources, and then we'll try to understand. And Jane Jacobs is a highly respected, popular historian, critic, and she wrote a book, Death and Life of American Cities, many years ago, and she followed with a classic called The Coming Dark Age at the turn of the 21st century. And basically, she said, the environmental crisis and racism are so great in the human story. And then if we add all sorts of other issues around that, but essentially the climate crisis, environment, human impact, and our inability to deal with different cultures, we're going to a darker place. And the wars are going to be worse. And we're kind of seeing that now in Ukraine and in the Middle East, I'm afraid to say so. Okay. Please stand, please rise with that incredibly uplifting bit of information. And I want to just get you ready for an activity. I just need to count and make sure we're okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Lovely. So we have an even number. I would like I'm just going to open this up. There's going to be 11 people that are going to stand this way, and there's going to be 11 people facing them. I want to get that kind of in place first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Would you 11 come around here and just arrange yourself shoulder to shoulder? It's going to be a little uncomfortable. You're going to feel another human being breathing on you or close to you. 11 people. 11, 11, 11. 11 humans. You can push that away. Yeah, so we want it straight. Exactly. We want to line this up. Okay, 11. Yeah. Okay, way to go. And then we'll do that. Excellent. Okay. And now those other humans, would you line yourselves up so that one of you is in front of somebody? Okay, so you're just all facing each other. Go ahead, please. 11 on 11. Chanel, I'll come to you in a moment, okay? I'm going to help you online a little bit. But for now, we have the 11 on 11. Now, you should all be facing somebody. Good. Okay, Gigi, you should be facing some. Yep. Great. Now, I'm going to have you talk to each other for a few minutes. What's your name? Kate? Hi, Kate. Kate and Gigi are going to talk. Kate's going to talk a little bit to Gigi and introduce herself and explain a bit why she's here and what she's hoping to achieve. And then Gigi will have listened, and then Gigi will tell Kate, and they'll talk a little bit. And then I'm going to say switch. And everybody's going to step to their left one step. So they will be in front of a new person. And the person at the end of the line will just come around. Okay, so you will come around and you will step to your left, Colin, and you will step to your left, Gigi. So you will be facing Colin, probably. Well, I think, or we'll see how it works, but it will work. And you're going to go down the line for about 15 or 20 minutes, listening and talking about what you're expecting from this course. And then we're going to take up your conversation together and we're going to put stuff in the notes. And then we'll have a record at the end of exactly what you're expecting from humanity's destiny. Is that okay? Is that clear? Okay. Great. So please start. You should be in front of one. Yeah, so you talk to one person. Okay. Yep. All right. So, yeah. Good. There we go. Okay. So Chanel, you can hear me, right? Of course. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about what I just said, and I'd like you to write in the live chat after you've given this some thought what you're expecting from this course, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I think what I'm going to do with this class is I'm going to finish with them and then deal with Expo next class, okay? Because there's no guests in these classes, so I have a little more freedom, okay? So stay here, we'll talk at the end and then. Perfect, okay, good, thanks. That's good, Chanel, you're answering. What I'm going to ask you, what do you think humanity means? In terms of a definition, how would you define humanity? Write it in clear sentences, the best you can, okay? Take your time. And learn more to life. Yeah. Learn more to life. But what is the meaning of humanity? Because remember, there's two, excuse me, there's two words here. Humanity's destiny. So what does humanity mean? That's right. It means people. Yep. We say humanity has several meanings. Humanity means humankind. Okay. But humanity also means something else. What do you think that something else is? When we say somebody has humanity, somebody. Okay, switch, please. Step to your left. Everybody take a step to the left. So you come around, Kate. Yep. Gigi, take a step to the left. Colin, take a step to the left over there. You should now be in front of a new person. Introduce yourself and take it away. See, humanity, Chanel, has several meanings. And so when we speak of the destiny of humanity, we're talking about the destiny of humankind, but we're also talking about the destiny of something else. Okay, are you able? Are you lost? Okay. Okay, you should be in front of somebody. So if you're not, you person join another person, okay, and then stay with them, okay. So, but you should be in front of a new person, okay. Good. Um, what is the Rotary Club? This is it. This is the Rotary Global Classroom. This space is just this space is called the Rotary Global Classroom. That's what it is. Yeah. What's your name? Dylan. Good, Dylan. Yeah. I hope. Hopefully, it makes sense. Okay. All right. Okay, switch. I'm going to keep you moving. Keep listening, keep talking, keep listening, keep talking. Good. Chanel, I still don't know what that other thing is. You've said humanity means people and about the world. What is that other thing that humanity means? You can look it up as a definition. you'll see in the definition of humanity there are more than one meaning. It's live on YouTube. Yep. That's just me. That's just me. Okay. Okay.
It's gonna be all messed up because I got messed up. Because now they're partnered and I'm partnered here, and it's gonna keep messing up.
Jeez. How should we fix this mess
I
up?
don't know.
Well, I'm going to call switch and then I'm going to get it all fixed. Let's see. Okay, we have a bit of a train wreck happening here, so we've got to switch now first, and then we're going to fix the subway wreck here. Okay, it's piling up. So switch, go down one, and let's see what happens. Okay, again, switch. Now, okay, come around and come in because we have an even number. You want to squeeze in here and over here, and everybody should be in front of one person. Okay, so come around and go down a little bit more. And is it Kate or Kayla? Put yourself into the line, and we're gonna just move it and just sort of shift this algorithm of people so that everything's in place. So go in there and just kind of find everybody so that you're all in front of one person. Just naturally do it. Let this algorithm settle itself. Let's see. I think it can do it because there's an even number. Okay? Train wreck fixed. Who are you in front of? But you're in front of new people, so that's okay. Start talking and start listening. It's okay. Okay. Oh, that's good. Have you met this person? Okay. Move a little bit more. Would you come around a bit? Okay. We're going to kind of clog. Would you shift that way? Shift. Yeah. Okay. Shift. Good. Okay. Would you come at? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Have you met him? Okay. Go ahead, please. Have you met her? Please go ahead. Go for it. All right. Very good. Okay. This is not too bad. Good. Chanel, way to go. Please be ready to read this out loud to everybody. I think we will be able to hear you, okay? This is important information, and I'm going to make sure that this all gets saved, okay? Human race, human care, humanity care, dignity, human culture, human race. Right. Humanity is the bond. Write this as well, Chanel. Go ahead and write the bond, the special bond between humans. The bond, the special bond between humans. That's good. Okay. Please switch, step to your side one way and keep it going. Please switch. Yes. We're going to do this a couple more times. Keep going. That's right. The bond between humans. We don't really say, Chanel, that turtles have humanity. We might say they have some kind of connection between one another, or squirrels or monkeys, but humanity is that special quality between humans. We might call it compassion, we might call it love. But so now, Chanel, do you start to understand that when we talk about humanity's destiny, we're talking about the future of more than just humankind? Does that make sense, Chanel? Yeah, exactly. Good. Okay, we're going to be finished in a moment with the activity here, and then we're going to take everything up. So, Chanel, be ready to read out loud what you've written here, okay? And we will start with that. Excellent. Okay. I'm just putting something in the live chat here right now, Chanel, for everybody, which is my email. I'll be asking everyone, including you, to send me something shortly. So that's what it's there for. Okay, final switch. One more time, and then return to your seats. One more time. Go ahead. Final switch. Thirty seconds. 30 seconds. Please return to your seats. Please return to your seats. We're going to keep this going. Way to go. And push the couches back into the U shape as well. And we're going to start the conclusion of the class, which is the big take up. and some good notes. And we're going to start momentarily with Chanel as well, who's been working and digging and putting some information into the live chat for us. And then we also have you, I need you to do an email to me or something, and then we're going to be done with the class. So way to go. You have now met some of your crewmates in our little spacecraft called the Rotary Global Classroom, and every week you can expect the class is going to be something like this, whatever this is. You're experiencing it, okay? But we're still not there yet. We still haven't landed on Mercury or Neptune or Mars or Uranus or some other place beyond our solar system. We got to land in a new place every class, right? And it's not much fun if we don't get there. So Chanel, could you please bring your lovely face back, and we'll put you up full screen here for everybody so you can tell us what's written in the live chat. And I'm going to kind of bring you up here as well. Here is Chanel. We have some of Chanel and a lot of ceiling and a lot of wall. Chanel, yeah. Bring it down, Chanel, so we can fill up that face to get a human being. Yep, okay. So Chanel, could you tell us, what does humanity mean?
I
And
think
go ahead.
humanity.
Yeah,
I think
and then
humanity.
go ahead, Chanel.
Okay. I think humanity means dignity, human race, human culture, and the bond between humans.
Ooh, can you just say that again? Because this is important information, and I just want to make sure that, Chanel, everybody understands that when we talk about humanity's destiny in this class, we're not just talking about humankind, because the definition of humanity has other meanings. And our future is about other things too, not just humankind, but something else. So what are these other definitions of humanity that you have found, Chanel? Go ahead.
Humanity, care, dignity, human race, and human culture.
Lovely. Thanks, Chanel. So let's make sure we understand what's happening here. That could be the PowerPoint slide. If we were doing this the normal way, which is you'd have your PowerPoint now. Humanity, bullet point, and I mean, we can do better than that. This is some living ideas happening from you, Chanel, all in this class together. We have knowledge in the live chat. That's going to be saved. That's going to be what you study when you write your reflections to understand what's important. So these points that Chanel has put in there, I want to just review for a moment so you understand. When we talk about humanity's destiny, we're talking about, how about the future of dignity, human dignity. Do robots have dignity? What's that? Not yet, maybe? Yes? Dignity. Thank you for asking. Excellent. Okay, let's get a definition for a second. It's an excellent question. What is dignity? Let's help the student understand. What do you think dignity means? When we talk about the future of dignity, human dignity, that's also a meaning of humanity. Dignity. What do you think dignity means? Being
authentic.
Being authentic? Okay, yes. Go ahead. Maybe, but it's a very, very interesting question, because everybody here wants dignity. Don't you want to always have your dignity? You don't want anyone to take your dignity away from you, do you? So what is that thing that you don't want taken away from you?
My authenticity.
My own sense of who I am? Absolutely. Respect? Absolutely. Respect, dignity. The worst thing that can be taken from you is your dignity. Your dignity is disrespected, degraded, exploited, enslaved. We all want our dignity. It's a special quality. I'm not sure squirrels have dignity or even dolphins in quite the same way that humans do. So the future of dignity, that's also destiny here. The future of these things. How about the future of human culture? How about the future of the human bond? Humanity is the bond between humans. Humanity is compassion. Humanity is love. What's the future of love? Have you ever asked that question? Let's get an answer. Gigi, go ahead and I'll bring you the microphone. The future of love. And that's it. In this, what do you say in this day and age, Gigi? What's wrong with this day and age where love might be somehow questioned?
I say in today's day and age because I think that love is viewed differently, especially in my generation, than it was from like generations before me. And I personally don't know what direction like love is going to go in, but I would love to know because I think it's very important.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not just love, like romantic love. I think it's like family love and
Absolutely.
that dynamic and how much that has changed, you know, from generations and how it will continue to change in different races and different cultures. I think that's a very big, huge, important thing that
Isn't
we
it?
all need to have. And I feel like that importance is being like lost
Why?
because for a long time people were not to show like any weakness or vulnerability. And I think especially now nobody wants to be seen as weak or you know nobody wants to be in love. Everybody thinks that being in love is a weak thing and I don't think so. I think being in love is great. And I think everybody needs love in their life.
Wow.
And I feel like more and more people are being like, no, we don't need that. It's not really like a big deal. Or people who grew up without love in their family, you know, don't see that it's important because they haven't had it. Right? I think
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm going with that.
Well, seems like we're starting to come to the planet where we're going to land. Maureen, would you be able to do a new slide? Where we have landed today. That's what the slide is called. Where we have landed today. And there's a very big idea here that we need to put down that has just come from Gigi. So let's put Gigi's name in nice big bold letters and make sure that Gigi's insight here has been properly recorded. Because I think that this could be a very important expectation in this class this semester from me and from this class, which is to understand where is love going in the future for all of us. Could you write that down? Now, if I had said that question to you at the beginning of the class today, you might have wondered, is this class about that? And what is this guy up to, Lon? But after our little thing today and here and this, I have a feeling that that question is resonating with some of you as you leave today's class. The destiny of us on this planet has a lot to do with love, doesn't it? Well, we'll explore that because, you know, I could ask a religious person to tell me about love, and that person would tell me something very meaningful. I could ask a person who loves science. I could ask, not Ariel. Where's Ariel? Ariel. Ira. I could ask Ira about that. She could help us to understand that. I could ask every single one of you, and you would know how important that question is. You would say, I have no doubt, that if I am entering a future where there is no love, I either don't want to be part of that future, or how do I get the love back? And if you can't, and it's not there, I'm not sure there's much of a future, but we'll see. Is that making sense? Good. Okay, what's your, it's a, Lydia. Can you write that? Lydia, Lydia. How do we get the love back? Critical forces this semester we're going to be looking at. We're going to look at them all through the semester in different ways. The force of love, that's part of humanity. The force of freedom, the force of evolution, the force of science, the force of technology, the force of space exploration. All these big forces are part of the human story, and they're going to play out in the future in different ways. We got to understand what those forces are and think about how they may play out. And Gigi has alerted us to something, that this force of love that we can say for certain is part of the human story, right going back to the earliest humans, 250,000 years ago, when we became Homo sapien. And we started to bury our dead. We started to grieve our dead. We started to care deeply about questions around us. Love was coming into this story, and now Gigi is saying maybe it's not quite there. That's worrying. Colin, you want to say anything? It's okay. Well, let's get the microphone over to Colin. Yep. Go for it. Good, yeah.
The reason why I think some people think that love is dying in the world is because the world is also getting a lot more crueler. There's a war going on between love and cruelty, and I'd say at the moment cruelty's winning.
Well, we're going to
also say for certain that love will never go away.
Okay, well, we're going to touch on that. Sorry, that way Chanel and then all the others watching the recordings can hear you clearly.
So this is, for example, say myself and my sibling, we're not getting along. If we are not getting along, yes, we will bicker and we will have different opinions and we may not agree with each other. But after it all ends, you always bubble back up to love. So it's like it pulls you down to like a negative
Yes.
feeling or disagreement. But at the end of it all, you come back up to love. You still love the individual.
Yeah. It's the human bond.
Yeah.
But not everybody does.
Mm.
Thankfully, you do, and your sister does. I am going to stop there. I think it's always good to stop when we're just landing and we haven't explored that new planet yet, but we're there. What I'd like you to do in the final 2 minutes is, my email is written in the live chat, and I'll just show it to you there. And could you just write it in nice big letters too there? I'd like you all to email me now something. So Chanel, just go ahead, lon.appleby, appleby @durhamcollege.ca. And I want you to write very briefly one topic that you really want to explore this semester and tell me why. And put your name underneath it. Your full name. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. I want to see what you're thinking, but this is how I'm doing attendance. At the end of the class, you're emailing me something. You'll be doing this next week. I'm going to take your name and I'm going to look at the spreadsheet and I'm going to put tick. Kayla, 3 out of 3. She got her 1.5% for participation, or 2%. That's how you're going to get your participation. Okay? So it should work. lon.appleby, appleby at durhamcollege.ca. There I am. Just explain one topic you'd really like to explore this semester and why. That's it. It could just be in note form, the topic, and a few words. It doesn't have to be pretty English. Just, I want the content. And then when you're done that, you can leave the class and we're done, okay? Excellent. I feel and I see people thinking in this class. Good. I'm going to open the doors. And I'm going to just see. Hi, are you coming in here for a class? Okay, good. All right. Yeah, you're good? You are? We have a class after. Oh, at 3 o'clock? Yep. Okay, yeah, we're just getting finished. Okay. Chanel, are you good? You can just give us a thumb up. Yep, okay. Just one topic. Want to see what you're thinking. Speaking of love, I think there's a movie tonight out on the grass outside, 7 o'clock. Just check the schedule. I'm not sure what it is, but who doesn't love a good movie? Spider-Man. Hey, Spider-Man on the front of Gordon Wiley building where the big O is and the buses. I think is that where it is? Or yeah, Spider-Man, good. Spider-Man. Love Spider-Man. Okay, I'm going to stop the live stream. Chanel, we'll see you. Oh yeah, I'll wait until you. Yeah, you're emailing. We'll see you next week. Okay. Great. Okay, I'm going to save this. Yeah, good. I'm going to stop the YouTube stream and stream. We're good there.